Good morning. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Ojo ahí con el ruido, por favor. Aislémonos un poquito ahí si estamos en un lugar donde nos va a afectar. Ok, voy a dar un par de minutos para que se incorporen los demás, ok. I'll be back. Ahorita regreso. Okay, guys, right now we are 21 students. Good morning, everyone. Let me see. We have Andrea, Ashley, Camila, Eduardo, Gaby, and Gaby. Gaby Donado, Gaby León, Isabel, Julio, Catherine, Kenia, Leo, Melody, Melina, Miguel, Prisi, Rebecca, Rocío, Tania, Vale, and Walter. These are the ones we have. Ok. Para que no solamente lo diga yo, para que no sea yo el de la idea de que lo dije de manera así, o yo me lo inventé, o lo soñé, que lo dije. ¿Qué fue la instrucción acerca del día, relacionada al día de hoy que yo di, chicos? En relación al otro 20% de nota de actividad. ¿Cuál fue la instrucción? ¿Alguien me puede ayudar? Solo para que me quede 100% claro de que sí, de que es una indicación que se dio y que espero que estemos al tanto de ello.
Que la
Teacher.
participación se basaba en la clase, o sea, el 20% sería de la participación de la clase.
Thank you very much. Ashley, right?
Kenia.
Perdón, Kenia, disculpen. Pasó el ciclo de... No, por su voz, de repente, ustedes saben que a veces la voz de mujeres es complicado diferenciarlas, pero thank you very much, Kenia. Yes, you're right. Okay, the participation, the 20% that is for the participation that is attached to the participation section will be basically get focused on your participation, your today's participation. Ok, ¿a qué me refiero con eso? Y se los explico en Spanish para que quede 100% claro, y ya se los había dicho. La participación es, yo le pregunto, ¿usted respondió? Excelente. La gente que no responda, de repente, miren, yo no sé realmente, y créanmelo, estoy haciendo esto y lo estoy haciendo de esta manera porque lo que he notado es que por una simple instrucción que de repente les he pedido que lean o algún tipo de pregunta que yo haga, hay personas que no dicen absolutamente nada. Entonces, necesito que hoy sea el día en que sí, por favor, tratemos de participar, porque si yo pregunto y usted no responde, no voy a poder ayudarle por esa parte, ¿ok? La participación es, la nota es, no es cuántas preguntas respondo, no sino que es si respondo, si yo pregunto y me responde, si participo en la clase, es automáticamente con el hecho de participar, con que yo le pregunte, con que lo vea activo en la clase, ese es el puntaje. Fuera de las personas fuera de que no entran, lastimosamente yo tiempo para hacer actividades extras no tengo. Actividades extras no van a ver. Ya si lo perdió, y si no participó, no participó. Si en caso tiene algún problema de audio, con el micrófono, será mejor que me lo diga ya, por favor, o que me envíe una fotografía del error que le dio, porque yo recuerdo que hemos hecho actividades anteriores, por ejemplo, la primera actividad de la participación, y no recuerdo que alguien me haya reportado problemas de audio con el micrófono, así que si tiene, ¿por qué? Porque la participación va a ser directa y necesito que la participación sea fluida. De igual forma va a ser en el parcial, va a ser fluido. Yo no voy a estar esperando 5 minutos de que usted me responda una pregunta. Y ya voy a eso, ya voy a la explicación de cómo va a ser el parcial. Ok, pero por favor, chicos, remember your participation is the one that is going to represent the 20% of the rest of the activities. Remember that the other 10% is the participation in the forums. Con relación a la participación en los foros, yo ayer estuve revisando, por ejemplo, y no vi me dirán si me equivoco, no vi un tan solo mensaje de la sección 2. Un tan solo mensaje no lo logré ver. About the activity related to the mental illnesses, I give you a problem, you give me an advice. No one, okay, no one.
Pero aún podemos participar en los foros, ¿verdad?
Pues claro, si pueden completar los foros, pero las preguntas que voy a hacer ahora, o sea, yo no les pongo las cosas solo por ponérselas, sino que porque tengo una intención de que algo pretendo hacer, de que algo estoy pretendiendo hacer. Ok, Emilia, vaya. Entonces, nos va a tardar más tiempo si usted tiene problemas con la computadora, entonces mande un audio entonces con la respuesta, pero más o menos rápido, porfa, chicos. Si yo le pregunto, mándeme un audio. Vaya, explico, en Spanish, el parcial. Y lo voy a explicar ya. El que no entró y ya no lo voy a volver a explicar, ahí le explican, porfa. Porque no voy a estar repitiendo eso 5 veces, 8 veces, 10 veces, 20 veces, ¿ok? El parcial va a ser oral. Y el parcial va a ser individual, ¿ok? Va a ser usted y yo, nada más. ¿En qué se va a basar en el parcial? En la información que hemos visto en el tercer registro, por supuesto. ¿Y cuál es la información que hemos visto en el tercer registro? Número 1, definitions. Las definiciones, the definitions about the branches of psychology. Estoy hablando de including, I can ask you, for example, y aquí ya empieza su participación. Desde acá ya empieza su participación y voy a empezar a preguntar. Yo aquí voy a ir checando quién va respondiendo, who's the one that's gonna participate or not. Ok, let me see. Voy a echar, miren, si me estás escribiendo de repente al chat y yo estoy acá haciendo alguna cosa, yo le voy a estar poniendo más atención a la participación activa. Así que si tienen algo que decirme en el chat, mejor me lo dicen ya, porque no, yo voy a estar concentrado aquí de alguna manera, ¿verdad? En lo que ustedes me digan. Dice, teacher, vaya, ya les dije, ahí sí tienen, ahí manden la respuesta de lo que les voy a preguntar. Ahí graban un audio y lo envían a WhatsApp, ¿ok? En el grupo y ahí lo oigo. Ok, let me see.
Teacher,
Yes.
una pregunta, pero las participaciones van a ser, usted va a tirar la pregunta y quien conteste o va a ser una pregunta
Oh,
directa
directa. No,
ok.
es una pregunta directa. Ajá. En base a lo que estamos, ¿verdad? Permítanme. Regáleme un segundito, por favor. Give me one moment. Okay. Give me just 1 second, guys. Okay. Okay, very good, guys. Okay, the definition, for example, I can ask you the first very important question you need to know. What is psychology? A definition of psychology. I gave you definitions, okay? I recommend you, believe me, I recommend you to use the definitions I gave you. Okay, if you give me another definitions, please be sure that please be sure that this definition has relationship, of course, with the one we have. Okay, what do I mean? Les recomiendo utilicen las definiciones que yo les di. De hecho, sí, utilicen las definiciones que yo les di porque se las di con la intención de que manejáramos el mismo vocabulario y estuviéramos en la misma página. Si ustedes se salen del concepto, o sea, usted pueda que sepa de lo que, what is the definition of a clinical psychology, the definition of forensic psychology, but at least if you give me another definition, I'm going to need that, that it's going to be that it has to be related to the one I gave you, okay? But if you can use the ones that I gave you, that will be great, okay, guys? So first question is, what is the definition of psychology? And where is that information, teacher? This information is in the presentation I gave you. And I attached, I don't know if you can already check the forum, but I attached that definition. I attached that definition in the forum, guys. Ahí se las puse, ahí les agregué. Solo tomen en cuenta algo, que en el nombre yo le puse mental illnesses, pero de hecho son las definiciones lo que les agregué ahí. Oigan, solo en el nombre me equivoqué, pero lo que están ahí son los definitions. Okay, what is psychology? Fabi, what is psychology for you? Oh, go ahead.
Is the science of mind and behavior, study emotion, personality, and take into account all the different aspects of being a person.
Okay, very good, Fabi. Thank you very much. Vaya, chicos, quiero que consideren algo. Esta clase no solo nos sirve para sacar el 20% de la nota de su participación, sino como un review de lo que va a ser en el parcial, que ya no les dije cómo va a ser el parcial, ¿verdad? Vaya, ya, bueno, ya medio les expliqué. El parcial va a ser oral, 1 a 1, y lo que le voy a preguntar, ¿cuál va a ser su temario? Simple. Las definiciones que yo les di en la presentación. Definition of psychology, definition about what a clinical picture is. I can ask you, can you tell me, can you give me a definition of a clinical psychology? Las definiciones que están en la presentación. ¿Puedo preguntarle eso? Esas pueden ser las preguntas. Esas son 7 definiciones. Y fuera de eso tenemos mental illnesses. Con mental illnesses no le voy a pedir concretamente que me dé una definición de lo que es la enfermedad como tal. ¿En qué me voy a basar? Me voy a basar en algo más sencillo que voy a desarrollar en la segunda parte de la clase, que es give me an advice depending on the problem, just like the example I gave you in the forum. Y vamos a ver el video hoy y ustedes me van a ayudar a identificar las señales. Basadas en las señales, yo saco un problema, una situación, como lo hice en el foro, y en el examen yo le voy a dar una situación. Puede que utilice las que veamos hoy en el juego, puede que utilice algunas similares. Que si yo le digo, por ejemplo, I eat only trash food or junk food. Oh, teacher, you should, tal cosa. You shouldn't. Y usted me va a dar una recomendación dependiendo de la situación que le dé. Y esta situación obviamente va a estar relacionada a un disorder, a un mental illness específico, de acuerdo a los que vimos. Creo que va a tener más claridad cuando se los explique después. Pero no sé si ahorita me doy a entender. El parcial en base a las definiciones y en base, o yo le puedo plantear una situación, un problema, y usted me tiene que dar un consejo relacionado a eso. Ya como usted se desarrollaría, como usted se va a desarrollar después ya en su ambiente, ¿verdad? Porque eso es lo que va a hacer, me imagino, ¿verdad? El paciente le va a plantear una situación y usted le tiene que dar un consejo. Entonces, eso es lo que vamos a hacer. Okay. Do you understand? Do you have an idea right now? Yo sé que van a tener una mejor idea después cuando ya hagamos la actividad. Ok. Pero, ¿cómo me comprenden ahorita mi idea general de lo que necesito hacer de ustedes para el parcial? ¿Se comprende? Do you understand?
Yes, teacher.
Ok, vaya. Entonces, si ustedes lo hacen en un cálculo, si pudiéramos sacar un cuestionario, podríamos decir que son las 10 definiciones más, perdón, las 7 definiciones más los 10 problemas, más los 10 mental illnesses, de los cuales voy a sacar un problema específico y usted me va a dar una recomendación relacionada a ese mental illness. Right? Entonces, por ahí son 17, sí, 17 serían, ¿verdad? Sí, 17. 17 conceptos, por ejemplo, si lo puedo llamar de alguna manera. Bueno, 5 son definiciones y las otras van a ser advice that you're going to give me, right? So basically, this is the exam going to be about. Pero en el examen, y perdón, se los estoy explicando en español porque necesito que quede claro. A propósito, siempre va a ser a las 9, con el salón no sé, pero ustedes saben que ese día nos arreglamos con esa parte. Usted me va a preguntar, ¿cómo va a ser? ¿Va a ser por orden de lista? ¿Va a ser, o cómo va a ser? Va a ser por orden de cómo lleguen, de cómo se ubiquen en el salón. Desde ya se lo digo, voy a empezar de mano izquierda. Ahí se van desde el primerito a la primera fila, ahí voy a ir en orden, preguntando y van a ir pasando. De ahí va la segunda fila, hasta donde lleguemos. Y algo bien importante, chicos, ¿se comprende más o menos cómo voy a hacer la evaluación yo? ¿Dónde se van a empezar a formar? ¿Se comprende, chicos?
Yes.
Vaya, a mano izquierda, al primerito que yo vea sentado en la primera fila de la mano izquierda, ahí voy a empezar. Y ahí voy a empezar con la segunda fila, y si hay una tercera fila, de que seguro que sí. Ojo, ojo, vaya. La idea de se lo voy a plantear de esta manera, la idea de la evaluación oral no es que nos quedemos toda la vida ahí, ¿verdad? Yo sé que la vez pasada algunos se extendieron y lo hicieron excelente y súper bien, pero esta vez va a ser un ping-pong de preguntas y respuestas. Ok, yo le pregunto, I ask you, you answer, I ask you, you answer, ok. No voy a estar esperando de repente nuevamente, como se lo dije al principio, 5 minutos a que me responda algo. Ya tendría que llevar usted manejada o clara las definiciones y preparados o preparadas por algún advice que yo le dé y una recomendación que usted me pueda dar. Vaya, escuche bien lo que le voy a decir. Pueda que le pregunte, pueda que le formule 5 preguntas o pueda que le formule 10. ¿De qué va a depender esto? Si usted las primeras 5 preguntas que le hago me las responde así de manera fluida y yo veo, no, esta persona viene más que preparada. El examen termina ahí. El examen termina ahí y es como que yo tomara 2 puntos por cada pregunta y su 100% queda ahí. Pero si veo que estamos de una sí, una no, ay, aquí no me acuerdo, entonces sí hago las 10. Ujú. ¿De acuerdo? ¿Se entiende? Do you understand? Guys?
Yo tengo una pregunta.
Yes.
Go ahead. Ujú.
Después de que nosotros terminemos, de que usted nos haga las preguntas,
Puede
¿nos
ir.
podemos retirar o tenemos
Sí.
que esperar a que todos terminen?
No, por supuesto que se puede ir. Se puede ir
Ok, muchas
con,
gracias.
con total facilidad. Solo que en el momento le voy a dar su nota porque ya no lo voy a ver. Así que en el momento le doy su nota y ahora sí me voy a asegurar de llevar la parte. Para estar anotando que el día sí se me fue a llevar una libretita o la computadora ahorita le fallo porque computer sí he tenido problemas, no he podido llevar computer a la U, pero sí voy a llevar para estar tomando nota y para tener un registro de su nota, por cualquier cosa lo contacto a ustedes, pero la idea es de que lo hagamos de manera fluida, somos bastantes y eso, por eso les digo que voy a tratar de hacer la actividad, el parcial de la manera más fluida posible. Usted pasa, yo noté que usted anda súper pilas, 5 preguntas y ya se fue. Y entre esas 5 preguntas, ahí va al azar, ¿ok? Randomly, ¿ok? Puede ser que le pregunte 3 definiciones y 2 advice. O ahí voy preguntándole, o más advice que definitions, pero usted tiene que saberlo. Usted tiene que saberlo, ¿ok? Any other question? Eso necesitaba decírselos in Spanish just for you to be sure the way we're gonna do, the way the exam is gonna, the way we're gonna proceed in the third exam, in the third parcial, okay? Are you clear with this? Are we clear? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Bye. Go ahead. Let's continue. Very good. Vaya. De hecho, miren ahorita, para que no digan que soy mala onda. Aquí les voy a compartir, ¿ven? Aquí tengo la presentación donde están las definiciones. O sea, ahorita con el simple hecho de que usted participe, ya la hizo, porque sí le voy a poner el porcentaje. Permítanme, ¿dónde están ustedes? Aquí está. Vale, ahorita les estoy compartiendo la participación, ahí está actualizada, porque después yo le agregué the definition of psychology, the definition of what a clinical issue is. So, I know that you have problems, Emilia, right? So, if you can, no, estoy siguiendo el orden como los tengo acá, fíjense. Okay, where is Alexandra? 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 Okay, one more time, guys. If you don't answer, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna ask someone else. Okay, Alexandra. Okay, Alexandra. What happened? Do you have a problem with your microphone or what? Problems with your microphone, Alexandra? Yes, Alexandra, pero ahorita sí estoy un poquito... no estoy tan concentrado en el... Ok, no hay problema, Alejandro. Sí, lo que pasa es que sí estoy más concentrado en la clase. Lo siento, chicos. De repente yo sé que ustedes me escriben, pero no puedo estar aquí y puedo estar en el teléfono. O sea, sí, pero no debería. Tengo que estar concentrado acá. Ok, Alejandro, if you can send me, please, if you can record an audio and send to the WhatsApp group a definition about what a clinical picture is, will be great. Okay, Ale, what is a clinical picture for you? A clinical picture. You can send one message to the WhatsApp group. Eso sí les voy a pedir, chicos, que tratemos de hacer fluido esto, porque si no, aquí voy a estar. Okay, in the meantime, voy a continuar haciendo preguntas. Okay, let me see. Andrea, can you please mention the 5 branches of psychology that we have studied in class? I need you to mention the 5 branches of psychology that we have studied in class. Simple and easy. I just need to know the 5 branches of psychology that we have studied in class. Can you mention them, please?
Psychology clinical, psychology forensic, psychology
Clinical psychology, forensic psychology.
ya voy.
Educational psychology. Okay, Andrea, look for that.
Social psychology. Permítame. Psychology community.
Community psychology.
Y psychology
Educational psychology. Okay. Forensic psychology, educational psychology, social psychology, community psychology, and clinical psychology. Okay, let me see. Ashley Alvarez, can you give me a definition of clinical psychology, please?
Yes, teacher. It concentrates on the intellectual, emotional, biological, psychological, social, and behavior aspect of human performance.
Okay, biological, Ashley. Biological. Okay, let's pay attention to those. Your English in general, guys, in general, your English is really good. You only need to check some clue words that you need to pronounce well. Okay, let me see the next one I have here. Estoy siguiendo el orden de cómo los tengo en el chat, okay? No el orden de que tengo de normal. Okay, Cami, can you please give me a definition of what the forensic psychology is, please?
It practices psychology as a science within the criminal justice system and civil courts.
Okay, very good. Excellent pronunciation, Cami. Very good job. Excellent. Okay, can you give me the definition of educational psychology, Diana? Diana?
Educational, right?
Yes, please.
It studies the nature of human learning, development, motivation, and relative topics. It also applies the research findings to the identification and development of effective instructional practices.
Okay, very good, Diana. Natural, Diana. Natural, okay?
Okay.
Good. Educational psychology, please. Eduardo Romero. What is educational psychology? Hello? Educational psychology? Educational psychology. Ahorita no soy pendiente del chat, chicos. Sí, vamos a ver. Ok, thank you, Carla. I received. Ok, Eduardo, me muevo, pues. Ok, let me see. Emilia, okay, I know that you have problems with your microphone. So I need you to send me the definition. Okay, guys, what is the other one that is missing? We have talked about forensic psychology, clinical psychology. What is the one that is missing, guys? Can you help me?
Community.
I'm sorry?
Community psychology.
Hey, Emilia, can you send me, please? Can you record an audio telling me what educational psychologist? Esa es la que me dijeron que faltaba, ¿verdad? Disculpen, memoria cortoplacista ahorita. Era educational psychology, chicos.
Community psychology.
Perdón, community psychology, Emilia. Community psychology. Okay, and the other one that is missing, guys. Let me see. Community psychology. Okay, community psychology, si no me equivoco, educational ya estuvo. Vamos a ver, ¿cuál me falta?
Social psychology.
Social psychology. Okay, I need a definition of social psychology, Emerson.
Hello, teacher.
Yes. Hello. Can you give me the definition of social psychology, please? Emerson.
Give me a second.
Okay. A mí también give me a second, right?
The intellectual emotion clinical psychology. It concentrates on the.
Okay, Carla send me the definition of what clinical psychology is. Okay, so but she sent me the message through WhatsApp. So in the meantime, I know if you're ready, Emerson. I don't know if you're ready, Emerson. If not, Emmanuel Guerra, clinical psychology, one more time. What is clinical psychology? Clinical psychology, guys. Emmanuel? Emmanuel? Definition of clinical psychology? Ok, Fabi ya le había preguntado, ¿verdad? Ok, Gaby Donado, one more time. What is the definition of clinical psychology?
Oh, clinical psychology is I don't know how to say this word.
Go ahead, do it, and I'm gonna help you in case it is mispronounced.
Okay, it concentrates on the intellectual, emotional, biological, psychological, social, and behavioral aspects of human performance.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me repeat it for you guys, for you to have a better idea about the way you're gonna pronounce them. Okay, listen, guys. Clinical psychology, guys. It concentrates on the intellectual, emotional, biological, psychological, social, and behavioral aspects of human performance. Okay, that's the way you need to pronounce the whole idea. Okay, any problem with any word, at least right now, from clinical psychology that you don't understand the way you're gonna pronounce them? Or are we okay with this? Any problem? No problem?
Teacher.
Hello? No? Okay, definition of forensic psychology, it practices psychology as a science within the criminal justice system and civil courts. Okay, no problem with this. Any word you don't you have problems to pronounce? Any problem with clinical, with forensic psychology? Any specific word? Are we okay? Yes, no? Good. Okay, let me see. Social psychology, it uses scientific methods, guys, no methods, it's methods to understand how social influences impact human behavior. Okay. Any problem? Any problem here? Vaya, pero hablen pues. Any problem here? Yes, no? Social. Okay, good. Community psychology, it integrates social, cultural, economical, political, environmental, and international influences to promote positive change, health, and empowerment at individual and systematic levels. Esa no me recuerdo si me la dieron. O sea, ¿qué fue la que le pregunté a Emilia? Creo que sí, ¿verdad? Ajá. Vaya, esa ya la vamos a revisar de nuevo. Educational psychology. It studies the nature, of human learning development, motivations, and relative topics. It also applies their research findings to the identification of development of effective instructional practices. So one more time, let me see. Are you ready, Emerson? Estamos pendientes ahí. Emerson, are we okay?
To say the definition.
Yes, please.
The same definition that you say.
Okay, give me the definition of community psychology. Just to reinforce the idea. Emerson. Emerson.
The same definition that you said.
Yes, of course, please. Emerson.
I have not the same definition.
You have not the same definition, but I sent you the presentation through WhatsApp, Emerson. Just read it. You just need to read it.
Okay, give me a second.
Vaya, Emerson. Después le pregunto porque ahorita el tiempo es oro. Okay, Jasmine, can you help me with something, please?
Sure, what do you need, sir?
Okay, good. Let's do this. Okay, let's do like a sample about how the exam should be. Okay, simple as that. What I said at the beginning is, guys, if you ask me if you answer, I'm sorry, the first 5 questions fluently and quickly, o sea, no le estoy hablando de que así como flash, ¿verdad? Pero if I ask you and you answer, ask you and answer, the exam is gonna finish as soon as you answer 5 questions. So let's do this. Simple as that, Jasmine. Let's try to make it. Let's try to make this as fluid as possible. Okay. Okay. Jasmine, what is psychology for you?
Psychology for me is a science of mind behavior. Psychology study also thoughts, brain function, personality of human development, and take account of the different connected.
Okay, thank you. Can you give me a definition of clinical psychology, please?
Sure. Clinical psychology is a concentration in intellectual, emotional, and biological psychologies and behavior aspect of human performance.
Okay, thank you. Now I'm gonna need a definition of social psychology, please.
Social psychology uses scientific methods to understand how social influence impacting human behavior around the world.
Okay, thank you. What is a clinical picture for you?
It is the interpretation of the doctor based on the experience of the patients, like interaction, cause factor as well, multiple cultural interactive, and usually the doctor matches the patient's clinical picture with the diagnostic constructed of the most common element on the attached clinical picture.
Okay, look, Jasmine, I have a problem. Can you give me an advice, please? Look, I have suicidal thoughts. Give me a...
Okay. Okay, first of all, you must to tell to everyone or your family how you feel. So you have to talk about it. In that way, you probably start feeling much better when your father started to understand you.
Okay, thank you very much. Vaya, chicos, ok, yo sé que ustedes me van a decir, oh, pero no todos tenemos la fluidez de jazz. Y está bien. Pero, por ejemplo, con la recomendación, Jasmine, y antes de que pasara otra cosa, recuerden que con must no usan to, o sea, it's not going to be must to. It's, for example, you must talk to your parents, okay? It's not must. Remember that it's has, should, shouldn't. The ones you have to use are should, shouldn't, must, have to. But with must, you don't use the infinitive form. You don't say must to. You must to. No, you must is must and plus the verb, right? Must and plus the verb. But this is the way you have to do it. Okay, de nuevo, yo sé that maybe you're not so fluent or jazz, or maybe not, or maybe, or probably yes. But this is the way that it's solamente that this is just an idea about the way I'm thinking about doing the exam. In this case, if Jasmine asked me, since Jasmine asked me the first 5 questions on this way, she can go. Okay, she can go. Simple and easy. If not, I will continue asking you questions. I will continue asking you questions, guys. Okay, very good. Let me see. Okay, one more time, guys. These 5 definitions about the branches of psychology, these are the ones you need to get on focus. And also the definition of psychology. Okay, ahí podemos diferir un poquito with definition of psychology, but I think if you can give me at least a general idea about what you understand, that will be great. And also about the clinical picture. Very good. Let me see. I understand that right now we are 34. Vaya, chicos, ahora vamos a hacer al revés. ¿Quién quita que por ahí haga al revés? Yo le dé la definición y usted solo me da el concepto. And this is what we are going to do right now. Okay, Gaby León. Okay, please. It practices psychology as a science within the criminal justice systems and civil courts. What type of what branch of psychology is this?
Psychology,
Forensic psychology, okay, remember, forensic psychology. Good, al principio, chicos, no psychology, forensic psychology. Okay, let me see. Isabel, let me see. It uses scientific method to understand how social influences impact human behavior.
social psychologist.
Good, that's what I need. Okay, Jasmine is okay. Josue Romero. Okay, Josue Romero, you didn't answer the first question. Okay, look at this. Listen to me, Josue. Okay, it is the science, Josue. This is the science of mind and behavior. And it studies thoughts, brain functions, behaviors, emotions, personality, personality, I'm sorry, and human development. What is that? What is that? ¿Qué pasó, Josué? Va, escriba, mándeme un audio, por favor, entonces. Okay. Okay, Julio, the definition I already gave, it is the definition of what? You pay attention, right? Hello? Julio, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. I already gave you a definition. Did you listen to the definition? Catherine, can you repeat the definition I've already gave, please? Just the definition, not the name.
Definition. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
just the definition.
It's the science of meaning and behavior. Psychology student through brain function, behavior, emotion, personality, and human develop and take into account and the different aspects of the person.
Okay, good. No necesitan extenderse tanto. Con una idea que yo ya tenga ya me sirve. Okay, let me see. Y eso ya le cuenta como participación, Catherine. Thank you. Ya si vuelven a participar de nuevo, ahorita voy viendo quiénes y quiénes no. Kenia, please listen to this. Tal vez no se las de todo, obviamente. Yo les di algún concepto más amplio, pero no quiere decir que se vayan a aprender todo, ¿verdad? Okay, pay attention, please, Kenia. Let me see. Okay, this Kenia is going to help us to interpret basically the symptoms, signs, and results of investigations that are available, okay, about the patient, okay? It is created by the interaction of causative factors as well as multiple cultural, interactive and individual factor. What is that? Kenia.
Y no sé si es sobre la presentación que mandó al grupo.
Yes, of course, but there's a specific concept about this.
Community psychology.
That's not a branch of psychology, Kenia. What is that, Karen? When you have like the general description of the symptoms, the signs, and multiple investigation that has been based on the, if I can say, based on the patient, right? Those are like the descriptions of the patient's symptoms and signs. What is that, Karen?
Clinical picture.
It is a clinical picture, exactly. Good. That's great. Okay, very good. So, Leo, are we okay with all the information? Leo, are you there?
Siempre de picture clinical.
No, I'm only asking you if you are okay with information already gave you. Any problem? Bueno, en general, vaya, in general, any problem with definitions, guys? Okay, ¿se comprende qué es lo que vamos a hacer entonces en esa parte específica en relación al examen?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, you need to study, please, guys, the definitions. The definitions of the branches of psychology I already gave you, and also the definition of what psychology is and the clinical picture. Okay, very good. Les dejo un espacio al menos hasta este punto por si tienen alguna duda. Son libres de... Hoy tenemos tiempo, no se preocupen, se pueden extender. Si tienen alguna duda de cómo vamos a hacer ahorita, del examen o eso, por favor, pregunten. Lo que vamos a hacer también es revisar ya dentro de poco, hacer una revisión, recordar un poquito acerca de los modal verbs. But before that, can you please tell me if you have any questions about the third exam, the way we're gonna proceed with that, if we are okay with this? Yes? Or if everything is clear? Ajá, chicos, ¿alguna duda?
Everything clear.
Everything is clear. Okay, good. Very good, guys. Last class, we were talking about modal verbs, okay? But we're gonna get focused on the exam, basically in 4 of them. Okay, did you remember? I know that you checked the forum. I hope you checked the forum. Which are the ones, let me see, I'm gonna, Loida creo que me dijo que estaba afuera, algo me dijo, permítame, que no estoy ahorita checando el chat. Okay, Loida, if you can hear me. No, bueno, pero ahorita avancemos. Ok. Sí, ahorita sí necesito avanzar un poquito con esto. Ok, Manuel, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, do you remember which one were like the modal verbs I asked you to basically take into account that are going to be applied on the exam? We checked some examples, but I asked you to be concentrated on 4 at least, that these are the ones that we're going to use for the third exam. Do you remember which one I told you that you need to consider?
Before you said that we have to practice for the test.
Yes, please.
Should was one of them. Could.
No.
No. Must. Have to.
Exactly. And the other one is the negative form for should. What is the negative form for should?
Shouldn't.
Shouldn't. So guys, thank you very much. Okay, so should, if we're talking about should, shouldn't, have to, and must to, and must only, right? Remember, what Melody, when are we gonna use these types of modal verbs? When do we use them, or why do we use them? What is the purpose to use these modal verbs? Melody.
Must?
No, I'm asking you about what is the purpose of using these modal verbs? We use them to, I don't know, maybe give an opinion about something specific. We use them to, I don't know, ask questions. I don't know.
It's to ask questions, I remember.
Okay.
Like to ask for something?
No. Miguel?
No?
No. What did I ask you to, what I did request you to do in the forum? In the forum, I request you to do something specific. Using should, shouldn't,
to
must.
give an advice.
Exactly, that's what I need. Okay, we're gonna use them, guys, to give them an advice. But for example, I'm gonna ask Melina. Okay, Melina. So Melina, what would be the difference for me, okay, to give you an advice, or what would be the difference of using should or must? Okay, can you tell me that there's a big difference between using should and must? Okay, in which circumstances I should use should, for example, instead of must? Or if you can give me both ideas, why do you use should or why do you use must? ¿Qué tiene? A lo que me refiero es, ¿por qué yo usaría should en lugar de must o viceversa? O sea, ¿por qué los utilizamos? Sabemos que nos sirven para dar un consejo. Yo digo un consejo en general porque así se trata el tema, give an advice. Pero hay dos tipos de, por así decirlo, de la manera en cómo lo podemos dirigir, ¿ok? O de cómo lo... no sé si recuerdan un poquito de eso, ¿ok? Melina, do you have an idea?
¿Lo puedo decir en español?
Okay, do it.
Must es como para algo que se tiene que hacer. Y should es más como una recomendación de qué podría hacer.
Melina, very good. Okay, now do it in English. So, should and shouldn't are gonna use to give a should and shouldn't, you're gonna use them to give like a recommendation, okay?
Recommendation.
Okay, so I will give it I will say it for you, but you need to repeat it, okay? Should and shouldn't will be used to give a recommendation, but whenever you use must and have to, it is because basically mandatory. When you're, for example, you as a doctor, what is gonna happen whenever you had in the future, you're gonna have a patient, okay, in your you will have to deal with them all the time. So si ustedes ven que un paciente está mal, if you see that the patient is really sick, okay, what would you prefer to do? Would you prefer to use should or must and have to give a recommend to address this person, to talk to them, to give them an advice? What would you prefer if you see that the patient is really sick, and you need to be kind of, okay, no es que no vayamos a ser polite, pero sometimes we need to push our patients to do something because they are doing something that can be unhealthy, right? So what do you think would be like the types of recommendation you would use or the modal verbs you would use in order to address your patients? What do you think, Monica? Which are the modal verbs you could use to address a patient if your patient is very sick? Would you prefer doing, if you prefer giving an advice using should or must?
Can you repeat?
Okay,
please?
if you see that your patient, if you see that your patient, Monica, is very sick, and he's not following your instructions, okay, and you need to give them or to give him or give her an advice, which one is the modal verb you would prefer to do? You would use must, exactly, right? So what do you need to analyze in this case, guys? The scenario. You need to analyze the scenario, and you need to analyze if it is recommended or, okay, it is better if you use should instead of a must, depending on the situation. If this is just a recommendation, like a simple recommendation, I can give you, maybe you can use should or shouldn't. But let's see, for example, let's say Pedro had 4 in the first exam. Okay, what recommendation do you think, or which modal verb do you think I'm gonna use if Pedro asks me, teacher, what can I do? I'm really worried. I had a 4 in my first exam. And what should I do for what should I do in order to pass in order to pass English 1? Okay, which is like the modal verb do you recommend me to use with Pedro? What type of recommendation do you recommend me to? Do you recommend me or request me to use just should as a simple recommendation, or to be strong with him and use must or have to? What do you think? Ya les dije el escenario, ¿verdad? ¿Cómo se los planteé, verdad? Pedro needs to pass the exam, because in the first exam he had 4. So which one is the modal verb do you recommend me to use with Pedro? Should. Are you sure?
Must.
Must.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Pedro, you must study every single day for the exam. You have to review the topics very well before taking the exam. Must, have to, obligation. Remember, they were in the category of obligation, and the should and shouldn't are like recommendation. Okay, are we clear with that? Chicos, ¿estamos claros con esa parte?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, very good. Así que si yo les pregunto, y esa va a ser la segunda parte de la clase. Bueno, si yo les pido y les planteo una situación como la que acabo de estar dando, usted tiene que decidir si es necesario utilizar should o shouldn't. Aunque fíjense que se la voy a poner un poco más fácil quizás para el examen. Porque, ¿qué pasa? Si estamos hablando de mental illnesses y hay detalles, bueno, usted ya vamos a hacer una actividad, un juego en la segunda parte de la clase. Si usted de repente, es más fácil identificar que de acuerdo a los problemas que tenemos, estamos hablando de disorders, we're talking about disorders, we're talking about mental illnesses. Entonces, si estamos hablando de problemas que son un poquito más graves, usted ya va a entender cuáles son los modal verbs que me servirían mucho más para, en este caso, en el examen, yo le doy una situación y usted me da un problema. Puede que le sirva más utilizar must and have to, pero necesito que analice bien lo que yo le voy a decir en el examen. Y no quiere decir que si no está mal estructurado no se lo voy a evaluar bien, o que yo interprete, no, tuve que utilizar must and have to en lugar de should. Puede que sea un poco consciente con esa parte, pero sí necesito que comiencen a hacer ese análisis, porque de hecho de eso va a depender su trabajo, ¿verdad? Hacer un análisis de lo que yo le estoy diciendo y dar una recomendación en ese caso, or give an advice. I'm sorry, it is better if I say it in English, okay, depending on the scenario. Very good, but this will be in the second part of the exam. Ok, vaya chicos, les voy a dejar ir un ratito antes ahora. No que nos vayamos ya, ¿verdad? En lo que preparo la otra actividad para regresar. Si gustan, nos vemos a las... ok, le voy a dar hasta las 9:30. Como siempre les he dado. Le voy a dar unos minutos antes. Necesito, si pueden, deberían mejor. Vean si se checan el video. Lo vamos a ver juntos después, pero mientras vemos el video, les voy a ir haciendo unas preguntas. Así que si pueden observarlo, dura como 10 minutos. O si le pueden echar una ojeada, sería excelente. ¿Ok? Les voy a hacer algunas preguntas en base relacionado al video. Luego vamos a pasar a una actividad que yo tengo, un juego, para checar y revisar los tipos de recomendaciones que podemos utilizar en el examen. Ok, pero les voy a dar chance ahorita. Ok, see you at 9:30. Les estoy dando tiempo, así que, but I need to see you at 9:30, ok? Bye, bye. Bye, chicos. Nos vemos. See you at 9:30.
Sí.
Okay, teacher.
Anybody there?
Yes,
Any-
teacher.
Can you see the YouTube site? Puede ver YouTube. Estoy compartiendo YouTube. ¿Mm?
Sí.
Ok. Okidoki. Vamos a ver que lo publico.
One misconception of meditation is that if you're meditating, your mind will be blank. You can't make your mind.
Do you listen?
Yes.
Okay, guys, let me see. Okay, we're about to start. Okay, are you there, Miguel Leon? Are you there? I was asking Monica. Pedro, are you there, Pedro?
Yes.
Okay, Pedro, would you be so nice, in case you remember, if not, I'm gonna ask someone else. Do you remember about the video of mental illnesses, which are like, that video is about the top most important or the top most common mental illnesses? Do you remember them? All of them? Or at least some of them? The ones that are explaining the video?
About this video.
Yes, about the video of the mental related to the mental illnesses. Do you remember which illnesses or disorders are mentioned in the video?
No, I think that we're gonna add the video this moment.
Okay, does anybody remember that? Does anybody remember? Do you remember that? Maybe not the 10, but do you remember
Depression.
some of them? Huh?
Depression.
Okay, go ahead, continue. Depression, what else? Which one?
Bipolar disorder.
Bipolar. Huh?
Personal
Anxiety.
Okay, anxiety. Okay, good. That's okay. So, guys, what I need you to do right now is I need you to pay attention to the signs, to the symptoms that helps you to detect that the patient has this specific problem. And we're gonna stop them and we're gonna analyze them before we start with the next activity. The idea is for you to analyze how can you identify this problem, okay? The signs, the symptoms. Okay, and we're gonna start right now. Please, let's do this.
Before we begin, we'd like to add a quick warning discussion. This video discusses mental illness, including eating disorders and PTSD. What is mental illness? According to National Alliance on Mental Illness, it's defined as a condition that affects a person's thinking, feeling, or mood for a sustained period of time that negatively impacts them. You might be wondering, is depression a mental illness? What about anxiety? Yes, they are. In fact, they're the most common types of mental illnesses. In this video, Psych2Go covers 10 of the most common types of mental illnesses. 1. Anxiety disorders.
Okay, please pay attention.
We know 18.1% doesn't sound like a lot, but that's the number of adults in the US who suffer from anxiety disorders. 40 million people suffer from symptoms of an anxiety disorder every year. Of those 40 million people, it's estimated that only 36.9% of them will get help. Anxiety disorders rarely appear alone, with depression being a common co-diagnosis. Anxiety disorders come in a few varieties: generalized anxiety disorder, GAD, panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, SAD, and obsessive compulsive disorder.
Okay, about this, like very, very specific information, like I don't want you to pay attention to this. I need you to pay attention to the following, okay? Así como lo más científico, no. Now pay attention to this.
OCD. So, what do all these anxiety disorders have in common?
Look, what do all anxiety disorders have in common? Pay attention.
They're all characterized by nearly uncontrollable worry that messes with several aspects of daily life, such as sleep, relationships, school, and work.
Okay, how can you identify, which are the aspects in a lifetime of a person or in a person's life that can be affected by anxiety? Which are like the areas where you can identify that someone is anxious?
Their sleep, relationships, school, and work.
Okay, very good. Now, this is the one that I need. I need you to have the general idea. Okay, you say sleep, relationships, school, at work. Okay, based on that, maybe we're gonna have a situation, a problem, okay? Please pay attention, and we're gonna continue.
The good news is there are several treatment options available, which include different types of therapy and medication. 2. Personality disorders. What does it mean when someone's personality is disordered? Personality disorders refer to behavioral, emotional, and thought patterns that deviate greatly from the expectations of an individual's culture. The National Institute of Mental Health suggests that 9.1% of the population has the traits of a personality disorder. So what does this look like in real life? Could anyone who's a little different be diagnosed with a personality disorder? Well, according to the diagnostic criteria in the DSM-V, these differences must be causing the individual significant amounts of distress in the way they see themselves, others, and situations, inappropriate or exaggerated emotional responses, impulse control, and how well the individual relates to and functions around others. Personality disorders can't be cured, but thankfully they can be treated. This treatment consists of combinations of medications for the underlying mental health issues, as well as talk therapy. 3.
I'm sorry.
Attention
there was a part
distress
here that I
in the way
needed.
they see themselves. The population has the traits of a personality disorder. So what does this look like in real life? Could anyone who's a little different be diagnosed with a personality disorder? Well, according to the diagnostic criteria in the DSM-V, these differences must be causing the individual significant amounts of distress.
Significant amount of
Distress.
Remember that definition from the list I gave you? So, okay, did you pay attention to this? So maybe someone, so if we can mention one characteristic of someone who has this problem, personality disorder, is someone that is maybe, okay, how could you identify someone who has this problem? Which would be like a characteristic you can identify in someone that has this who has a personality disorder? Anybody? Estaba general. Can anybody tell me? Can you look please for the definition of distress? We checked the definition the last time, remember? Can anybody help me please checking the definition of distress? Vaya, ayúdenme a alguien, porfa. Vimos la definición la vez pasada. Me busca la definición de distress.
Extreme anxiety, sorrow, or pain.
Okay, very good. Someone that is extremely anxious about someone, okay? Or someone that maybe that's really, really stressed. You're anxious, you're stressed about something, okay? About your work, about maybe that you don't have the result you need or you want to from at the university, okay? So there's a big pressure on you, right? So thank you very much. Let's continue.
In the way they see themselves, others, and situations, inappropriate or exaggerated emotional responses, impulse control, and how well the individual relates to and functions around others. Personality disorders can't be cured, but thankfully they can be treated. This treatment consists of combinations of medications for the underlying mental health issues, as well as talk therapy. 3. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. If we say ADHD, what comes to mind? The stereotype of a person diagnosed with ADHD is usually a small child who's bouncing off the walls or can't.
Okay, now we're talking about, which one is this one? ADHD. What is the meaning of that? What is the definition of ADHD? Definition of, okay, these are the acronyms, right? But which is the definition?
Stereotype.
Is attention deficit.
Hyperactivity disorder.
Exactly, that's the one. Okay, I don't know, maybe I think Diana have worked as a teacher, and I don't know if you, Diana, have worked with children. So if maybe you have noticed these kinds of problems, and this is not exclusively only for children.
But thankfully they can be treated.
Okay,
3. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. If we say ADHD, what comes to mind? The stereotype of a person diagnosed with ADHD is usually a small child who's...
Okay, the stereotypes, it's about one child that is constantly, it says bouncing off the walls, or, okay, basically we're talking about a child that cannot stay quiet, right? It's moving all the time. He's not paying attention to anything. And one more time, this, you can identify this maybe on children, but this is not only exclusively identified on them. Okay, it can happen to you.
Bouncing off the walls or can't finish a task. However, between 7.8 and 11% of children aged 4 to 17 are diagnosed with ADHD any given year. ADHD affects people of all ages and includes multiple symptoms, such as inability to concentrate, forgetfulness, inability to sit still.
Okay, can you read, please? Can anybody help me? Which are like the characteristics about how you can identify someone who has this problem? It's on the screen.
Forgetfulness, inability, ability to still.
Okay, forgetfulness, inability, ability to sit still. Basically, is you forget everything, okay? So you can stay quiet, okay? You can't concentrate, okay? You can't concentrate, you don't pay attention, right? Or maybe you're paying attention and suddenly you start moving and seeing what is, we say that, el cielo, seeing seeing everywhere except the teacher, or you do anything except what you have to be doing, right? Do you know what I mean? Se me ha ido la palabra, el cielo falso, ya me voy a acordar.
Restlessness, and losing things. An individual's symptoms vary depending on their age, gender, and type of ADHD. Did you know there's actually 3 recognized types of ADHD? They're ADHD, combined type ADHD, impulsive hyperactive type, and ADHD inattentive and distractible type. Most people think meds are the only way to control ADHD, but many people diagnosed with the disorder find relief by using a combination of medications, life coaching, education, talk therapy, post-traumatic stress disorder.
Okay, post-traumatic stress disorder. Let's pay attention to this problem specifically.
Did you know that an estimated 6.8% of the US population will develop some form of post-traumatic stress disorder? That's about 19 million people in the US alone. So how does this happen? You, me, everybody will get stressed out by something in our lives. Some people will come across something so stressful that it affects them permanently. For many of them, this stress becomes trauma. A traumatic event is considered any event that should not have happened, such as a natural disaster, an assault, childhood neglect, abuse, starvation, and so on.
What happened, guys? What happened with the post-traumatic stress disorder? Okay, can anybody give me like a very simple explanation about what you understand related to this issue? specifically? Anybody?
It's an event that happened in the past, but like it shouldn't happen. So
Okay.
it comes like a trauma, and then the past stress
Okay, very
about
good.
that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Maybe you had a problem in the future. There was a situation, and that stress you had in the past, I'm sorry, it becomes a trauma. Okay, and did you pay attention to the scenario? Maybe it could be like an assault, like the natural disaster. Like, remember yesterday we had like an earthquake, remember yesterday? So maybe someone feels stressed, and maybe in the past you feel very stressed and something happened to you. Ok, posiblemente en un terremoto que hubo hace rato ya usted desgraciadamente pasó algo, tal vez no tan grave, pero le causó cierto tipo de estrés y ese estrés se convirtió en un trauma, ok? Okay, it can be an assault, a childhood neglect, an abuse, starvation. If you remember starvation, it was in the vocabulary as well. So these are the aspects I need to pay attention to, porque de ahí vamos a sacar los problemas.
Stress is a completely normal reaction to trauma, but what happens when the threat is gone? The stress and trauma stops on its own for most people when the mind and body understand the individual is no longer under attack. But what if the mind and body don't get the memo? Post-traumatic stress disorder refers to a prolonged fight or flight response that happens after the stressful event has stopped. CPTSD refers to the PTSD that occurs, such as childhood abuse. Think of PTSD and CPTSD.
Todo lo científico,
These
vamos a
echoes
tratar de
can
irnos por el lado
happen in
más
the form of
fácil.
emotional flashbacks, nightmares, extreme anxiety or panic, difficulties connecting to others, and an overwhelming sense of fear.
Okay, the nightmares can affect you, and when you feel afraid about something, okay, this can affect you as well. You can take these signs into account as well.
So how does someone get help for something so overwhelming? People suffering from PTSD or CPTSD can find relief through trauma therapies, such as eye movement desensitization reprocessing, EMDR, or traditional talk therapies, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, or dialectical behavior therapy, DBT. 5. Depression. An estimated 6.7% of the US population over the age of 18, 15.7 million people live with depression. Although the occasional low mood is a normal response to negative situations, depression entails low moods that are severe and last longer than 6 weeks. Depression manifests differently in women than men. Women tend to experience depression as feelings of sadness.
Okay, how can you identify, I think this is simple for you. How can you identify that someone is depressed? Maybe because someone is very sad.
Worthlessness and shame or guilt.
But also if there's a feeling of worthlessness or shame or guilt, that which are, I think, guilt, and I don't know if, I don't remember if I included shame, like culpa o pena, ¿verdad? Preocupaciones that can cause that we feel depressed because of
Men
something.
tend to mistake the symptoms of depression as fatigue and being easily irritated. Common treatments for depression include cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, interpersonal therapy, IPT, psychodynamic therapy, psychoeducation groups, antidepressants, and various brain stimulation therapies. 6.
Okay, I think with the depression, you can see that someone can be that people that are always in the mood that I feel very sad about something in a specific, right? So this, if you can see in this one, I don't think we're gonna have problems. It has just like not a definition with more. Remember, I'm not going to consider like the more scientific details. I'm gonna get focused on more in the general idea of every single one. So let's check out the bipolar disorder.
Bipolar disorder. An estimated 2.8% of the US population that sought mental health treatment was diagnosed with some form of bipolar disorder in 2018. This number may be low, as many individuals who suffer from any mental health disorder do not seek treatment. Bipolar disorder means a lot more than just really bad mood swings for a couple of reasons. First, people diagnosed with bipolar disorder cannot completely control these mood swings.
Okay, this sentence is very, very important. So a person who has been diagnosed by bipolar disorder cannot control his wings, right? I'm sorry, let me see. Okay, yes, when we're talking about swings, I'm sorry, swings. Okay, like the mood swings, like we're talking about the mood swings. Okay, you know what the mood, right? The mood is when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling angry, when you're feeling happy. When we're talking about swings, esa palabra la vamos a interpretar de una forma bien específica acá, no como el concepto como tal. Because when I'm talking about swings, ¿han visto eso? ¿Cómo se llaman esos juegos donde se sientan y empiezan a dar vueltas? ¿Cómo es que se llaman esos? The swings. Uy, ¿cómo es que se llama este juego mecánico? Can you check out, please? Se me ha olvidado. Okay, the swings. Es la... ¿Cómo es el swings? Can you look it? Can you check it out for me, please? ¿Cómo es que se llama este juego?
Y me
El
salieron
columpio. Ajá.
Sí, columpio me salieron.
Perdón, el columpio, sí, se me había ido, perdón. Columpio. So what happened to the swings? But it refers to the swings. It is how changeable you can be. Okay, how changeable you can be. So when it's talking about the mood swings, what it refers to when it says swings, it refers to about the ability for you to move from one specific mood to another one in a really short period of time. What had happened that maybe Jasmine yesterday was very happy, but today she feels very sad. You understand what I mean? When it's talking about swings range, se está hablando del periodo en el que usted de repente está de un mood, pero de repente cambió a otro mood. Okay, so let's continue talking about it.
And second, these mood swings range from manic, feeling super happy or invincible, doing crazy spontaneous things, grandiosity, and having racing or unrealistic thoughts, to extreme bouts of depression and maybe a little hypomania in between.
Okay, so you can move from being someone who feels really, really good to someone who feels really, really bad about something. Okay, do you understand my point? I only try to understand like the general idea of every single problem.
Living with bipolar disorder isn't easy, but people struggling with the disorder can find ways to help them with disorders. Did you know there are almost
Okay, eating disorder, guys. Eating disorder, what it was a problem that we checked specifically in the forum. Okay, can anybody tell me, because I read some comments from you in the forum, can anybody tell me please about a specific advice or problems? I'm sorry, the advice and the problems and advice I gave you as an example. Can you give me an example of a problem and then an advice related to eating disorder, please? Ok, vamos a ver quién recuerda. En el foro les puse específico de eating disorder.
The treatment will be with a combination of talk therapy and residential treatment.
Okay, pero necesito, what I need right now is a specific problem, like the problem I gave you, like the example I gave you in the forum, just the problem. And then like a recommendation for the problem. The problem specifically for someone who has identified with eating disorder. How can you identify that someone has eating disorder? Does anybody remember? No? Okay, veamos acá entonces. Démonos una idea.
As many people living with eating disorders as there are with bipolar disorder? It's true. Approximately 2.7% of individuals who sought treatment were diagnosed with an eating disorder in 2018. The most common question people ask about eating disorders is what's the difference between not being happy with your body and having an eating disorder? Well, in addition to this total focus on their physical flaws, eating disorders are defined by dysmorphia and the binge, purge, restrict cycle of behavior. This cycle comes from the person's feelings of extreme distress and disgust about their body.
Okay, they get disgust and distress about their bodies.
Disgust drives the individual who has the disorder to become super focused on their body weight and shape. Leave a comment below if you want to know more about the binge, purge, restrict cycle. The eating disorders everyone knows about are anorexia nervosa and bulimia, but most people have never heard of eating disorders not otherwise specified, EDNOS, or avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, ARFID. Leave a comment below if you want to hear more about the lesser-known eating disorders. Everyone needs food, so how is someone who has such a terrible relationship with eating and body image supposed to get better? Recovery from an...
Para avanzar un poquito, en el foro lo que les puse fueron problemas simples. Yo creo que les puse, por ejemplo, I don't like to eat vegetables, something like that. To be honest, I don't remember, but you need to give her like a recommendation. Okay, about you should, for example, eat healthy food, right? And I remember I also gave you an example of someone who has ¿cuál era el otro? Suicidal thoughts, right? Because sometimes you feel so distressed about this feeling of feeling bad about your body that maybe you can commit suicide. And this is very sad, okay? Lo del eating disorder, recuerden que puede entrar dentro de, o les puede afectar de diferentes maneras. Pueden estar deprimidos, tener sentimientos suicidas, puede que no estén comiendo bien, no se sienten bien con su cuerpo. These are like the general idea. Vamos a tratar de movernos para que tengamos chance de hacer el activity.
Residential treatment and medications to treat the conditions. 8. Obsessive compulsive disorder. If obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, is a type of anxiety disorder, why did it make the number 8 spot? Simple. Professionals say 2.3% of individuals will qualify for a diagnosis of OCD during the course of their lifetime. What's the first thing you think of when you think of someone who suffers from obsessive compulsive disorder? Did you imagine someone who can't stand the thought of germs? Maybe a person who turns the doorknob 27 times before they can leave the house. The common stereotype of an individual diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, is of someone obsessed with cleaning or counting to a comical degree. But that's not the whole picture. The reality of OCD includes a great deal of anxiety, rigid thinking, and feeling isolated from others. And from reoccurring thoughts that sessions.
With the obsessive compulsive disorders, ma'am, the people, they were talking about some individuals who feel really like, it mentions the germs, for example. So maybe there's someone who is continuously obsessed or seeing something that has to be very, very clean, about cleaning, but it says that is not refers only about that, right? But for example, I remember that in the example I'm gonna give you, it was related to that cleaning obsession, that everything needs to be like very clean, okay? No se enfoca solamente en eso, pero ese es el ejemplo que yo les puse.
These obsessions can be things like cleaning or counting, but also include checking and double checking.
Also, maybe you can, maybe it happens to you that you need to check something, but maybe you have like the obsession of checking and checking one more time in order to be sure and be sure about something, right? And están como ya checaron algo, pero luego vuelven de nuevo y luego tratan de recontraasegurarse de todo, obsesionarse acerca de algo en específico, ¿verdad? Nos pone del lado de los gérmenes y de que todo tiene que estar extremadamente limpio, pero también a esa obsesión de que todo tiene que obsesionados, incluso it says with the numbers, okay?
Feeling as though one will be punished for being a sinner. Organizing and arranging and hoarding.
Oh.
Having obsessions is different from being
Vamos
gifted
a
or a little
avanzar
able to
porque-
control. Anxiety and combination of medical and talk therapy. 9. Autism spectrum disorder, ASD. We've been hearing more and more about autism spectrum disorder, ASD, in recent years. That's because approximately 1.2% of children, 1 in 59 children, will qualify for diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder in the coming year. ASD begins in childhood, but many individuals are not diagnosed until adolescence or adulthood. ASD is characterized by significantly impaired social interactions, learning, and communication.
Okay, we're gonna get focused on this. How can this affect us, guys? Did you pay attention? How can this affect us? How can you identify who has this problem? Because it has some difficulties in which areas specifically?
Social interactions, learning and communication.
Okay, you are unable to socialize with people. Por ese lado me fui. Bueno, aquí se lo voy a hacer corto porque todavía nos falta la actividad. Entonces, we have problem with the interaction with people, learning and communication. Okay? Just that. And the last one, porque para que no se nos haga noche y quiero ver. Va por acá. But the last one.
Schizophrenia and psychotic disorders. Did you know that 3 out of 100 people will experience the symptoms of psychosis in their lifetime? Yep. This means 1% of the population suffers from a psychotic disorder. People usually have their first psychotic break between the ages of 16 and 30, which means approximately 100,000 adolescents and adults will experience their first psychotic break every year. This does not mean everyone who experiences psychosis will always have a psychotic disorder. Medical and environmental or situational factors such as extreme stress, certain prescriptions, and illicit drugs can induce temporary psychosis. For individuals with a psychotic disorder, however, the symptoms last longer than 6 months. So, what is psychosis anyway? Someone suffering from psychosis has breaks or disruptions in their reality, which manifest in behaviors such as religious delusions, audio, visual, or tactile hallucinations, feelings of paranoia or persecution.
Okay, I'm gonna get focused on this. If you feel, if you have this problem about schizophrenia, basically you're feeling that someone, maybe you are hallucinating, you're seeing something that is not there. Okay, or maybe what is very often is that maybe you feel that someone is chasing you. De hecho, ese es el problema en el que me enfoqué. You feel like someone is there's a paranoia or persecution, right? Okay, feelings of paranoia or persecution. Someone is chasing me, okay? Me están siguiendo, okay? Someone is chasing me. That's the problem I got focused in. Yo creo que me alargué mucho con
And
eso.
disordered or jumbled
Pero quería que tuvieran una idea general. Como el video, yo sé que el video es largo, yo no me voy a enfocar en eso. Voy a enfocar más que todo, como les decía, en los consejos, en los advice. Permítanme, quiero ver. Les voy a buscar lo que vamos a hacer ahorita. Y aquí me van a colaborar, perdón, los demás. Ok. Escogidos, chicos, un problema por but can you see the screen right now?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, quiero ver dónde era. Animaciones, transiciones. No, presentación desde el principio. Vaya. ¿Pueden verlo? ¿Pueden ver la ruleta, chicos?
Yes.
Ok, vaya. Give an advice. Entonces, estos son los, yo les voy a pasar de hecho la ruleta. Estos son los problemas que yo he escogido dependiendo de el mental illness or disorder. Ok, y aquí van en orden. Ok, we're gonna check the first one. Ok, can you read the first one, please, Miguel León? Hasta en orden se los he puesto acá para que los vayamos identificando. Can you read the first one, please, Miguel León? Participation, guys.
Yes. I feel very, I don't know, how do you say that?
Anxious.
anxious when taking the English exam.
I feel very anxious when taking the English exam. Guys, what is the problem in this case? What is the mental illness that is related to? Let's remember one by one. They are in order. They are in order, guys. Okay, anxiety. Very good. Leo, number 2. Leo, number 2. Leo. Leo. Priscilla, number 2, please. Read number 2.
I feel very stressed at work.
Okay, and we are going to relate this to what was the second mental illness?
Personality disorders.
Exactly. Number 3, please. Thank you. Rebecca, number 3.
I always forgot where I put all my stuff.
Rebecca, and you can relate this scenario, this problem to which mental disorder? If I always forget where I put all my stuff?
I think it is ADHD.
Exactly,
disorder.
right? It is another problem. You always forget about everything. Remember, we mentioned that. Number 4, let me see, Priscila, ya le pregunté, disculpe. Sí, ¿verdad?
Yes, teacher.
Hey, Rick. Number 4.
I'm really worried about the arrival of the hurricane.
Okay, I'm really worried about the arrival of the hurricane. Remember, how do you relate this sentence, this problem, to which problem? To which mental illness?
Teacher, I think it's post-traumatic.
Exactly. Remember that it refers to maybe there was something in the past that it is still affecting, and there is a hurricane that is coming. So you feel very worried about that. Okay, number 5, please. Rocío Chinchilla. Rocío. Hello. Are you there, Rocío?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, can you read number 5? I feel extremely
sad because my mom died a few days ago.
Disorder, mental problem related to this sentence? If you feel extremely sad, look at this, extremely sad. Mental, what is the mental disorder?
Maybe depression.
Exactly, that's depression. Number 6, Tanya.
Yesterday, I felt very happy, but today I'm so sad.
Okay, yesterday, I felt the past. It is the past. Felt very happy, but today I'm so sad. What is the problem that you relate to this scenario? To this? What is the disorder, I'm sorry, that you relate to this sentence specifically?
I think it's bipolar disorder.
Exactly. Remember we mentioned that you change your mood. The mood swings tend to change. Maybe you are in a mood and then you are a few hours ago, you are in another mood. Okay. Number 7, Valeria. Valeria Alas.
I have suicidal thoughts.
Okay, I have suicidal thoughts. Okay, I remember that I mentioned about someone who has a suicidal thought. What is basically the mental disorder that you can relate to this one? Este lo puse en el foro. Alguien que puede tener pensamientos suicidas porque no se siente bien con su cuerpo. Eating disorder. Very good. It is one characteristic, one sign, one symptom. Walter, number 8. The contraction is I've. This present perfect, I've cleaned. He limpiado.
¿Quiere que la lea o que le diga la...?
No, I need you to read it.
I be cleaning the table result time, but it take logs 20.
Dirty. Okay, I've cleaned the table several times, guys, but it still looks dirty. So you are cleaning and cleaning and cleaning, and you are obsessed of that, okay, with that. So which type of mental problem or disorder is that?
OCD?
Exactly, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. Okay, you are obsessed on cleaning right now. Okay, vaya, entonces chicos, yo ibas por honor al tiempo, no voy a darles por así decirles, no le voy a compartir o no le voy a dar el host para que ustedes le den a la ruleta, sino que le voy a dar yo y a usted y voy a hacer preguntas relacionadas a que me den un advice dependiendo del problem. Give an advice depending on the problem, okay? And I'm gonna start asking question. Vamos a ver, todavía hay gente, yo creo que algunos ya les pregunté a todos. ¿Hay alguien que no le he preguntado, por favor, o que no ha participado, o yo le he preguntado y ha tenido problemas? Yo creo que Leo no le he escuchado, pero no sé si es porque tiene problemas. Leo, are you there? Hello? Leo, me escribe porfa si tiene algún problema. Ok, let's start. Ok. Vaya, chicos, voy a... Number 4. What is number 4? So, vamos a ver. I'm really worried about the arrival of the hurricane. Give me an advice, Ashley Alvarez. I'm really worried about the arrival of the hurricane. Remember, should, shouldn't, must, have to.
You should chill and talk with a familiar.
With okay, with a family member. Okay, Andres Garcia, you are the next. Okay, wait. Number 7, guys. What is number 7? Okay, Andres Garcia, I have suicidal thought. Give me an advice, please.
Advice, I think we can, I will say that try to be positive or also try to be distracted. Like, for example, hang out with friends, playing sports, playing video games.
Andres, which are the modal verbs we're using to give an advice? Remember, should, shouldn't, must, have to. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Remember to use those ones. Okay. The next one, let me see. I'm gonna ask Camila. Get ready, Camila, please. Number 1. Camila, read the problem and give me an advice, please.
I feel very anxious when taking the English exam.
Okay, if I have this problem, which one would be a good advice you can give me? And decide if you're gonna use should, shouldn't, must, or have to, Cami.
You have to prepare for the exam. You
Okay.
See the videos, presentations.
Okay, that will be a good advice. Ok, posiblemente yo me saquen las notas, ¿verdad? Entonces usted va a ocupar un advice un poco stronger than the one. Ok, let me ask Christopher. Ok, Christopher, no lo he escuchado, Christopher. Ok, next one. Si me sale uno que ya salió, ya salió el 4. Ok, number 4. Voy a darle con otro. Number 8. Christopher, read the problem and give me an advice, please.
I be cleaning the tape several times, but it still looks dirty.
Okay, I've cleaned the table several times, but it still looks dirty. Can you give me an advice, please? Christopher?
I don't know.
Okay, Diana, can you give me an advice? If I've cleaned the table several times, but it looks still dirty, I'm very obsessed with this. Can you give me an advice, please? Please, Diana. Diana?
Puedo contestar yo, no sé si podría ser you should clean more often.
I'm sorry, Diana, I couldn't hear you. Perdón, Diana, no le escuché muy bien. Si gusta me envía un mensaje para escucharla acá. Okay, can anybody help me with this one? Okay, remember the problem, and remember the problem is it is related to. Okay, guys, I've been cleaning. I am a person that is obsessed on cleaning. I'm cleaning the table several times. Give me an advice, please. Anybody? Ahora sí libre para quien me quiere echar la mano. I cleaned the table several times. Okay, Leo. Okay, Leo. That's okay. Okay, anybody? A ver, chicos, alguien que me dé un advice con este. Si le digo en el examen, me tiene que dar un advice. I've cleaned the table several times, but it still looks dirty. What will be a good advice? Anybody? Gaby Donado, what would be a good advice? I'm sorry, continue.
Can I say, you should think that with once is already clean.
Okay, maybe. Okay. Okay, take it easy, take it easy. It is already clean. You should consider that once, whenever you use one time, it is okay. It is enough, okay? That's okay. Miren, no tienen que simplificar, no tienen, perdón, que complicarse. Ustedes, vaya, miren, yo se lo voy a tratar de poner lo más fácil posible. Incluso les voy a mandar estos problemas y ustedes sacan su propio, aparte su propio consejo para que ya esté preparado para el examen. ¿De acuerdo? No lo voy a complicar tanto. Si hago algo, algún consejo, voy a hacer algo bien similar a lo que está acá. Pero porfa, traten de enfocarse en darme un advice así simple, ¿verdad? You should, teacher, you should consider that the table is already clean. ¿Ok? Tiene que considerar que ya la mesa ya está limpia, ¿ok? Ok. Just that, simple as that. Okay, let me see. Let's continue. Okay, number 4. So just number 4 all the time. Number 6. Okay, that one. Let me see. I'm gonna Fabiola, look at, y así le voy a preguntar en el examen. Fabiola, this is number 6. Fabiola, look, yesterday I felt very happy, but today I'm so sad. Fabi, advice, please. Hello. Yo solo veo que me escriben ahí. Okay, an advice. Can anybody help me with an advice? Any that wants to participate?
Me?
Let me see. Go ahead.
Me?
Maybe you should repeat the yesterday routine.
You should repeat the yesterday routine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can anybody give me another advice? Por ahí escuché a alguien.
You should.
Uh-huh.
You should do something you love or you like to increase your feelings.
Okay. Good. That's okay. To increase your, yo sé a lo que se refiere, autoestima, self-esteem. To increase your self-esteem. Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, let me see. Guillermo Rodríguez. The next one is for you. ¿Cuál no ha caído en la ruleta, chicos? Number 7. I have suicidal thought. Este ya lo hicimos. Number 10. Okay, este no, okay. Okay, Guillermo Rodríguez. Guillermo, look, I feel like someone is chasing me all the time. Did you remember what I said? What do I mean when I say chase him? Someone is chasing me. Do you understand?
Yes, teacher. I think it has to do with anxiety.
Which one was the last one? Someone is chasing, remember. Alguien me está persiguiendo todo el tiempo. Siento que alguien me está persiguiendo. Which one was the last, guys, which one was the last mental illness we checked in the video? Guillermo, which one?
I don't remember, teacher.
Which one was the last, guys? Which one was the last one? Anybody?
Paranoia.
Causes?
No. Psychotic
disorder?
It starts with the letter S.
Schizophrenia.
Yeah, it's schizophrenia, okay? It's schizophrenia. I feel like someone is chasing me all the time, Guillermo. What can I do? Please help me. Give me an advice.
Like an actual advice?
You should, you shouldn't, you must, you have to.
I think that first you need to clarify your thoughts and just try to calm down by the situation.
Need to is okay, but try to use must or have to. Okay, please, okay, that's okay, very good. ¿Será que revisamos todo, chicos? ¿Nos falta alguno? Ya salieron todos, ya se fijaron. Chicos.
The second
one. Ah, okay. Can anybody help me with the second one? Ya no le voy a dar porque yo creo que ya están todos. Let me see. I'm gonna ask Gaby Leon. Look at this. This is my problem, Gaby Leon. I feel very stressed at work. Give me an advice, please.
My device. It's take a break and
you should take a break. You should take a break.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
You should go to the park and do anything
you like.
Okay,
good. Vaya, miren, eso es lo que quiero. Lo que hizo Gaby ha sido simple. Quiero que se hagan la idea de que me van a dar un consejo sencillo, no es necesario que ocupen palabras complicadas. Ok, tenemos todavía un tiempito, volvamos a revisar. Advice, ya hicimos todo lo de la ruleta, pero voy a volver a preguntar. Ok, Andrea, I feel very anxious when taking the English exam.
Repeat.
I feel very anxious when taking the English exam. Okay, piénsenla, think about the recommendation, Andrea. Do you got the recommendation right now? Vaya, piensen lo que le voy a volver a preguntar. Think about it. Jasmine, yesterday I felt very happy, but today I'm so sad. Así lo voy a hacer en el examen. No voy a estar esperando que mucho tiempo que me respondan, chicos. Necesitamos ser fluidos con esa parte. Pensar rápido. Ok, Jasmine.
You should let it out your feelings.
Okay, good. Let me see. Thank you. Julio, I have suicidal thoughts because I don't feel good with my body. What is the recommendation you can give me, Julio? Vaya, chicos, cuando yo no encuentre respuesta, voy a seguir preguntando, chicos, porque me tengo que mover. Okay, Catherine, the same question. I have suicidal thoughts. I remember that you participated in the forum with this question, with this problem in specific.
My advice is you should talk to family members to have as much patience as possible, and family connect is vital.
Very good. ¿Saben cuál nos hace falta? No se han fijado. Number 9. Creo que eso no salió. Okay, number 9. Kenya, I have problems socializing with people. Look at this. I have problems socializing with people, Kenya. Give me an advice, please.
1 second.
Okay, think about it. Think about it. Okay, think about it, please. Okay, Andrea, you have my answer. I feel very anxious when taking the English exam. Andrea, do you have my answer? No yet?
Can you
You
repeat?
have to start.
Andrea, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, do you have my answer? Do you have my advice? No yet?
Espérame.
Okay, go ahead. Karen, I'm gonna continue. Karen, Karen, the same question. I have problems socializing with people. Please give me an advice.
You should go, sorry. You should to relax, and I try to include in different groups.
Okay, good. You can, okay, you can join another group. That's okay. Pedro, give me an advice, please. Look, Pedro, I feel very worried because I have read in the news that there is a new hurricane that is coming. Can you give me an advice, please?
You should take it easy and think less to the situation.
Okay, very good. Understand the situation. Vaya, se fijaron, modifiqué medio la oración, pero prácticamente les dije la misma idea. Ok, Melina, I have, quizás esta es la más difícil, pero piensen en recomendaciones para estos problemas. Ok, Melina, I've cleaned the table. Okay, I'm gonna change it. I've cleaned the floor. Several, and I be sweeping all the time because my mother-in-law is coming. Oh, no, okay. My girlfriend is coming and I need the house to be clean. And I'm constantly cleaning all the time. Can you give me a recommendation?
No sé si entendí bien, pero ¿limpia mucho o no limpia nada?
Oh, ¿qué pasa con este problema, chicos? ¿Qué pasa con el problema de obsessive compulsive disorder?
Limpian.
Tienen obsesiones por la limpieza, decía, ¿qué otro detalle? ¿Qué otro se me está escapando? Se obsesionan con las cosas, que también vuelven a rechecar y checar una vez más, porque como se sienten muy inseguros de que algo falta y vuelven a ver las cosas y vuelven, that's the thing. But in this case is, I've cleaned the table several times, but it still looks dirty.
¿Cómo se dice? Sobrepensar. ¿Cómo se diría sobrepensar?
Overthink.
You shouldn't overthink. And relaxing.
Maybe. Ok, Melody, busquemos una buena recomendación para esta que nos esté costando. Yo sé que les va a quedar tiempo. Melody, I've cleaned the table en esta. Yo creo que los demás están un poquito más sencillas. Melody, I've cleaned the table several times, but it looks dirty. What do you think? Do you have a better idea to give a response in this case?
In this case, you should go out to the park and think in another thing that is not the table and the dirty table in your home, or yeah, in this case that, but not thinking the problem. Think whatever thing you want, but not the problem.
Concentrate in another thing. Go out, go to the park. That's true. That's good. Look at this. Very good. Rebecca, quiero ver. Creo que no hemos visto. Miren, las 5 no recuerdo haberla usado. Yo creo que sí. But Rebecca, look, Rebecca, I feel extremely sad because my mom died a few days ago. Creo que no la vimos en el juego. Okay, I feel extremely sad because my mom died a few days ago, Rebecca.
Okay, I think you should. Let me think about it because I don't know.
Are you sick?
I think yes, I have the flu.
No problem.
But, I think you should talk with someone about how you feel, because
like a psychologist?
Yeah, someone professional about how you feel.
Very good. Talk to, very good. That
Talk
will be
to
a
a
great.
psychologist.
Okay, chicos, very good. And the last one, last question. Vamos a ver, voy a escoger a alguien. Creo que por acá ya todos más o menos participaron. Ok, Leo, the last one. Vaya, voy a dejar que la última la escoja Andrés. Vaya, escójame un problema para Leo, por favor. Dígale el problema y le va a dar un advice. Andrés. Andrés.
Sorry, teacher. What can I read? Sorry.
Okay, I want you to choose one problem and Leo needs to give you a recommendation or an advice. Okay.
I feel very stressed at work.
Very good. Leo?
1 second.
Go ahead.
You should take a break.
You should take a break. Oh, that's okay. Okay, you should take a break, go out with your friend. Okay, chicos, yo les puedo compartir esta presentación si les sirve. Vaya, si gustan, vamos a hacer esto. Vamos a hacer esto. Para que hagamos más fluido el examen. Me voy a enfocar en los problemas que tengo acá, pero por favor usted prepare un advice para todos esos problemas. Yo sé que es para que usted no sienta tan pesado el examen. Vaya, tiene las definiciones, tiene los problemas. Acuérdese, le puedo preguntar por definiciones, se le puedo preguntar por problemas. ¿Ok? Y nada más, así va a ser el examen, así se va a desarrollar de forma individual. Y de la manera en que les dije, one by one. Ok, no sé si tienen alguna duda extra o algo en lo que les pueda colaborar ahí para poderles apoyar de mejor manera. ¿Se comprende perfectamente cómo se va a desarrollar el examen el próximo viernes? Chicos.
Sí, teacher.
Ok.
Yes, teacher.
Vaya, prepárense por favor con las definitions y háganse un advice por cada uno de los problemas. Yo les voy a compartir el programa, esta cosa del juego de la ruleta para que ustedes chequen los problemas y saquen ya su advice y se lo preparan. Nada de leer, ¿ok? Tienen que aprenderse las cosas. ¿Ok? The definitions and everything, ¿ok? Algo extra que tengan que decirme, chicos. This is our last class, guys. Okay. By the way, this is our last class. Ahí me despido, pero me despido el otro viernes. Ok, pero sí, esta es nuestra última clase virtual. Así que, thank you for that. Ok, then thank you for being here. No sé si alguien quiere decir algo antes de que nos vayamos, o alguna duda, alguna queja, no sé.
Teacher, ¿puedes revisar el mensaje que le mandé?
Ya, me lo envío.
En el chat de QSM.
Ahorita. En serio. Usted que no es Rebeca.
Sí, pero es que
no me cayó ningún Rebeca. En el mensaje a mi WhatsApp o en el chat.
En el chat de Zoom.
Con razón no la veo. Perdón. A ver. Ok. Vaya, está bien, Rebeca. Ok. Bueno, chicos, bueno, si no tienen otra duda, ha sido un placer. Nos vemos entonces el próximo viernes. Traten, por favor, de estar temprano. Vamos a tratar, chicos, de hacer el examen de la forma más fluida posible para que no nos tardemos un montón de tiempo. Ya les dije, si lo ve usted chipa y pila y las primeras 5 preguntas, la responde de la manera correcta, hasta ahí llega su evaluación. ¿De acuerdo? Si no, se nos va a alargar la cosa. Así que mi consejo es que nos preparemos todos bien para que salgamos súper rápido de eso. Para que solo sea voy, pregunto, responden, ya tenga lista su respuesta. Ya tengan, porque básicamente estoy evaluando la estructura, la capacidad, la pronunciación y todo eso, ¿verdad? Si tienen alguna duda con vocabulario de las definiciones, alguna palabra que no les queda claro, y la pueden buscar también, pero de igual forma me pueden preguntar. Thank you, chicos. Ha sido un placer haber trabajado con ustedes, al menos ahorita, hasta este paso en la forma virtual. Y nos vemos el viernes para cerrar la clase de alguna manera con el parcial.
Gracias, feliz día.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, teacher, for this day.
You have a nice day.
Teacher,
Hola.
yo tengo algo que le quería decir.
¿Me puede escribir al chat?
¿En WhatsApp?
Sí, porfa.
Ok, perfecto, yo le escribo.
Para que no se nos alargue. Vale, ahí me escribe.
Bueno.